when you're in that space, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I sent you this question, but I'm gonna say it because like it's Megan. She just finished a crying gym sesh. She's alone, recently broken up, single, fearful as hell. Ice cream tubs for days, all that. I'm not sure if you're lactose intolerant, but in this universe you are, so you have nothing to look forward to
It
after all
wouldn't
this mint
stop
ice
me.
cream. That wouldn't even stop me. But like, if you like, yeah, busted in through the wall, like the freaking Kool-Aid man, and just gave that Megan a tip or a trick of advice, what would you tell her?
I loved this question when you sent it through, and I really sat with it. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that I got is, you hear about people who stay in marriages because the process of divorce just seems so overwhelming, which
Mm,
seems like a fucked up reason to stay in a marriage. But you hear about it all the time. People are like, it would be too hard to get divorced, so we're just going to stick
wow.
it out. So, it feels like it's so overwhelming. How am I going to get my bank account on my house or a car? So the best advice I have for Megan or for people who are in that situation is do one thing each day that brings you forward into your new life. So you start small. So for one day, I went to the bank and I got a bank account that was my own, which felt so amazing. And then I took a breath. And then the next day I went online and looked for apartments, and that is exhausting, especially in Australia at the moment. So it was just one thing each day, because it you can't tackle it all at once, but you can do one thing and eventually you'll get everything. So yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, the action taking is so key. Like, it's easy to just sit there. It's easy to just be stagnant. It's easy to just let your mind just take you through just a whirlwind of negative emotion over and over and over again. But there's doing something, right? Like, and then it can be a small action too. So I love that you were this action oriented self. It's like, yes, I got bubble guts after all this mint ice cream, but I'm gonna look for some damn apartments in the process. So that's fantastic. Like there's obviously a lot of advice out there. There's obviously a lot in these digital streets, social media, in terms of breakup and love and divorce stuff. As with someone who's like gone through the process and speaks on this matter, like, what is like a commonality in things of like how you think people are getting it wrong in terms of heartbreak and dealing with heartbreak?
Okay. I mean, I might even get like super deep here because
Oh, get deep, please. This is what this space is all about. Like, if you listen to my episodes, like, I'll get deep and get really emotional and then make like a fart joke right after. So like,
yeah,
it's no worries whatsoever to go there. This is a safe space.
The Self-Hype Podcast. The Self-Hype Podcast. The Self-Hype Podcast.